Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. First things first, Merry Christmas to those that celebrate. I do appreciate you guys spending some of your day hanging out with me here on the videos. So I hope you guys are all having a safe and fun holidays with your friends and your loved ones. But today we are breaking down and ranking the top 10 best weapons in Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer right now from 10 to 1. We got a lot of very competitive options. Obviously, recently we've also seen some weapon changes that have adjusted things in game as well. But we are starting first here at number 10 with the Vaznev 9K. This is a super reliable SMG. That said, you could also make an argument for things like the MX9, the Lockman sub. So the SMG category in general, very competitive, but to me, the Vaznev is one of those that does stand out and makes its way into the top 10 just because it's low recoil, real good damage, real good mobility as well. It's got a lot going for it in terms of being a competitive SMG. So here I do just go for 4 attachments, and that's just because I don't use an optic in this case. If you wanted to use a red dot or a blue dot or a different scope of some sort, feel free to throw that on there. Totally preference based there. Instead though, I do start off with the true tack grip here for that better sprint to fire and ADS, and I go ahead and I tune this for slightly faster sprint to fire. Then I go for slightly better control in this case, just to balance that out a little bit, because this grip does initially hurt your recoil control. 30 round mag is fine, so you don't need a magazine there by any means. I go for the shark fin underbarrel. It's that free stability, obviously, with no cons. And then you can tune this for a faster strafe and a faster ADS, so you're getting some free stats out of that. I also go for the cast 1 barrel here. This is going to be for better range and velocity. Hurts your ADS and whatnot a little bit, so I actually tune for essentially the max ADS here. You can get away with doing that. Then also slightly better aim walking speed. And lastly, I go for the Olay laser on there just for that better sprint to fire and ADS. We'll see plenty of that throughout the video. But yeah, those are the 4 like essential attachments. If you wanted to, you could certainly run, like a castle compensator or a razor compensator or something. Keep in mind it's going to slow you down a little bit, but that wouldn't be a bad option on here either. Or an optic if you wanted to. Again, sort of comes down to preference there, but those are the core 4 I got going on right now. Now at number 9, I've got the Fennec. The reason that the SMGs are like on the lower end of the top 10 is just because they do lack the versatility that basically every other gun on this list does have in terms of where it can be used. Obviously in this game especially, the SMG damage drop off is very harsh very quickly, so you'll get a lot more hit markers with these as you're getting to 35, 40, 50 meter fights, whereas close range they dominate, and that's why they're on the top 10 here. The Fennec especially, just the TTK is absurd. It's got the mobility, it's got the TTK. Even with this build here, it's also very, very easy to use, especially for close range. It is just spicy as can be. So we got the rubber grip here. That's actually for better sprint to fire and ADS as well. I tune this for even faster sprint to fire and even better recoil, again, to sort of counteract that con there. I do run the 45 round mag even in multiplayer because this fire rate is so absurd. You do run out of ammo constantly, and especially if you're playing aggressive, you got to have that larger magazine on there. I go for the 7 milliwatt laser for that faster ADS and sprint to fire. Yet again, the phase 3 underbarrel will help out with stabilization and hip fire accuracy, and you can tune this for better ADS and strafe speed, so you're getting some nice mobility benefits out of that while also getting some decent control too. And then lastly, I go for the Lockshot KT85 compensator on there. I tune that for basically max gun kick control, then also better stabilization as well. So this thing is fast, it is snappy with the ADS, and it kills incredibly quick. Now at number 8, I've got the RAAL LMG. Again, this thing could be, top 3, top 5. However, it is so slow. It's like the polar opposite of the Fennec and the Vaznev. Those are super speedy, nice and fast. This thing is like you're stuck in the mud and the quicksand trying to run around. But it also has the best TTK in the game over long range because this thing's power is just absolutely on a new level. One that everything else doesn't even know exists. It's so strong, right? So here I do go for the MW2. If you want a Chrono Mini dot though on there, if you want a 3.4 times, you can go for any optic that you're comfortable with. I like the V4. I tune that for basically the furthest eye position. Your ADS and flinch resistance does not matter there whatsoever. We go for high velocity ammo on here. You're gonna get some better velocity and some better range out of this slightly, but it's something regardless, and it'll just make the hit reg feel more consistent over range. The Dune underbarrel on here gonna help out with steadiness, which is all general control. Then I also go for better stability and stabilization on that tune. The CP90 compensator here, again, just basic recoil control, and I tune that for max gun kick control and even better stabilization, followed up by the Rhino barrel here, which is better control and velocity, so this thing's gonna shoot straight as can be. Also tune this for better range and better steadiness as well. So low recoil and super heavy hitting. By the way, as we are going through all the setups today, if you guys are new to the channel, every single day I got you covered with all things you need to know about Call of Duty. This is your one-stop shop, so if you want to guarantee you're always up to date, feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, join us ultimately on the road to 1 million subscribers. And if you guys enjoyed this video or if you find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. Let's try and aim for 2,500 likes on this one. Now at number 7, I've got the RPK, another LMG. This one though, a lot more aggressive than the RAAL. TTK, not going to be as fast as the RAALs, but it's still one of the more competitive ones in the game. This is also, though, really good damage, really good range, good control as well. And we make this more of like an AR LMG hybrid, if you will, with this overall setup here. So I go for the Chrono Mini Pro, your basic blue dot on there, tuned for that furthest eye position. 40 round mag and the Olay laser, so you got an extended mag, nice and consistent, and also a little bit faster than the base 75. And Olay laser is going to help out with that ADS yet again, so it's a lot more aggressive in general. You can actually run around with this thing and play a little bit more fast paced, even though it is an LMG. The Ripper underbarrel on here will help out with that stabilization. I tuned this for even better stabilization and better idle stability. Then lastly, the Sack and Tread 40 you are going to see on a ton of different builds here today. This is just another basic compensator for the better control, tuned for better gun kick control and better stabilization as well. So super reliable and really consistent rifle here. Now the brand new Chimera, also a beast here in multiplayer, especially if you land headshots. Nice aggressive rifle, AR SMG hybrid is what this feels more like than anything. So you can rush around at this thing, you can play close range. That's really where this thrives, as opposed to, you know, a lot of the other rifles which are meant for mid-range or long range. This thing dominates close range. So here I go for the Ravage 8 stock first and foremost for the better mobility, and I tune this for better stability and then a slightly faster ADS speed. For the rear grip here, I got the flash grip, which is going to help out with ADS and sprint to fire as well, and I tune this for slightly better control to balance this out, and then also better sprint to fire as well. 7mm laser on here for that faster ADS and sprint to fire yet again. Then the Ripper underbarrel, same deal as before, tuned for better stability and better stabilization. You could use a 5th attachment here if you wanted to, maybe throw on the 45 round mag. It's going to slow you down a little bit, but that could help. Or you could go for an optic if you don't like the iron sights. Totally comes down to preference yet again. Now at number 5, I've got the Kastov 762, and this in the RPK. One look just like each other when you build out the RPK like we did, and this like we do here. They also feel incredibly similar as well. In terms of the control, the overall TTKs are very similar. This though just feels a little bit more consistent than the RPK, hence why it's slightly higher up on the list. Basically a very similar setup though. We got the Chrono Mini Pro on here, again tuned for that furthest eye position. We got the MW2 grip, which is all for better control. Keep in mind this is basically a long range build here, and it's going to be a laser beam with great damage. On the MW2 we tuned for better stability, slightly better steadiness as well. Ripper underbarrel, yet again better stabilization and idle stability on that tune. Sack and Tread 40 once more as well, better gun kick control and better stabilization here too. And then lastly I go for the 584 barrel, which is going to be for better range, velocity and control, and we tune this for that better damage range and better steadiness too. So very low recoil, but a really good TTK, especially over longer ranges. Number 4, we got the M4. This build in particular, again more so meant for mid to long range, but the M4 is just so versatile. You could play close to mid range with a more aggressive setup. You could play just mid range. You could play anywhere with this thing depending on how you want the gun to feel and how exactly you want to build it out. This case though, this is very much so similar to what the pros are running, or what they were running initially on their M4s. Sack and ZX grip there for the better control, tuned for better stability and better steadiness as well. Olay laser to keep this thing nice and snappy though. Still we want to have it a little bit aggressive here, not too slow for that ADS. Ripper underbarrel, better stabilization and idle stability yet again on the tunes there. The castle compensator in this case, which again is just basic control for vertical and horizontal, better gun kick control and better stabilization out of that. Then lastly, the high tower barrel here, a little bit on the slower end of things, but really good for keeping it you know, nice and consistent. And we're going to tune this one for slightly better damage range. Then we're also going to go for slightly better steadiness on there as well. So all around, this build is going to be very low recoil, but also have a phenomenal TTK. Speaking of phenomenal TTKs, the TAC-V battle rifle. Number 3 here on the list, the best TTK for close to mid-range here. Even over long range, it's ridiculously impressive. It's got some recoil, which is why I think this is mainly like a mid-range based gun at its core, but my goodness, does this thing fry. So here, Chrono Mini Pro yet again, furthest eye position on that tune there. We got the combat grip for the better recoil control, tuned for better steadiness, also better idle stability as well. 30 round mag, just to add that safety net there. It only comes stock with 20, and that's not super sufficient even in multiplayer sometimes. Ripper underbarrel, better stabilization and idle stability on that tune. And then of course for the Sack and Tread 40, same tunes as before as well, better gun kick control and better stabilization as well. So this thing hits like a truck. It's going to erase players. You just got to get used to how it feels. Now at number 2, yes, 2, we've got the slightly nerfed Kastov 74U. You might think that nerf might have knocked it down a little bit, but honestly, this thing for close range as a rifle is still the most reliable option in the game. It shreds, it outguns SMGs close range. It does take one extra chest shot now, but chest shots at close range are about as easy as it gets, right? That's the biggest hitbox there essentially. So that nerf didn't really do anything too significant to actually knock this out of the top spot for close range at least. Here we got the True Tac grip for that better ADS and sprint to fire. I tuned this for better steadiness, again, to offset that con, and better sprint to fire as well. Olay laser, no surprises there. BR209 barrel is going to be for mobility, and we actually tuned this for max ADS and better steadiness, so this thing's still going to be very easy to use. Castle compensator is going to help out even more with the control, especially with our tunes here for better stabilization and better gun kit control. Then lastly, shark fin underbarrel on there as well for the free stats, basically better aim walking speed, better ADS speed, better stability as well because the base stats there too. So this thing is fast, this thing is powerful, also very easy to use. And then of course, no surprises here. At number 1, we got the TAC 56, the SCAR rifle. It's a little bit more aggressive than the TAC V, also way easier to use as well. Overall, it's the most reliable and consistent gun in the game. Setup here, not too different from what we've been running. High velocity ammo, better range, better velocity on that tune. Ripper underbarrel as well for the better stabilization and max stability there as well. Sack and Shred 40 once more, better gun kit control and better stabilization. The Tundra Pro barrel is sort of optional here. It is just helping out with range and velocity, not control or anything, but I like how it feels for some of those long range fights. We got better damage and steadiness on there. And lastly, the Olay laser just to give it some aggression, some snappier ADS speeds here and there. The sprint to fire, if you're playing a little bit more aggressive, is nice and useful too. And that being said, those are the top 10 best meta weapons in MW2 multiplayer, ranked incredibly competitive from, top to bottom. Top 10 especially here. Any of these options are phenomenal to use. That's gonna wrap things up though. If you guys enjoyed, let me know by dropping a like on the video. And if you're new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.